Mark and Paulette here, the two travelers in Mexico, coming to you unscripted and, of course, unprofessional, as always. And we are here with Jeff and Kathleen today, and they're going to talk about their recent car buying experience. So, Jeff, why don't you start by talking about your experience buying a car here in Mexico?
Well, fortunately, we had some bilingual friends go with us to the dealerships to help the communication process, to ask questions and check out the vehicles. And what a lot of people know is that the car market is really tight right now. New cars are tight, used cars are tight. And so what has happened and what we found is that used car prices are almost as high as the new car price. My strategy has always been to buy a car 2 or 3 years old, get that depreciation, get that, don't get the benefit of that depreciation. But for example, we saw one car, it was 2 years old, I think almost 3 years old now, and it was $1,750 less than a brand new one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. I was going to these used car lots and they were just barely less than the brand new cars.
And that was here in Mexico?
That was here in Mexico.
That's crazy.
But my understanding is that's all over the place.
Yeah.
And as we'll discuss later, that's why I got such a good price on my used vehicle, because there's just a really hot market. So we went to those lots. We were planning on getting a used car. Found out the used cars were not really a smart move because they were almost the same price.
Right.
Yeah.
So we started looking at new cars. And then we found out that some places don't have any new cars in stock. And it's going to be weeks, if not months, to get a new car. I think we heard that story from Volkswagen, Mazda. We went to a couple Mazda dealerships. There were no cars at all. Even on the showroom floor, there was like none.
Wow.
And then we went to, so we found that at a number of places. And we did place an order for a car last week, and we have to wait 6 weeks. So that's kind of the way it's going right now.
6 weeks. I thought it was 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're once you landed on a car that you're going to buy, you of course make a deal with the dealer, or was there any negotiating on the price at all? Or was it
This is really a seller's market.
Yeah.
They're backlogged. They are not doing rebates, discounts, any of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And also in Mexico, what I understand, what I've heard from multiple sources, is that unlike the United States, there really isn't a lot of negotiating going on. You kind of pay what you see, which in one respect makes it easier because you're not going back and forth with them and all that. It's kind of, takes that whole part of the process out of the picture.
What was required of you to actually buy the car? What documentation did you have to provide? Anything?
We had to provide a proof of address, which is, as you know, typically the CFE, the electric bill.
Okay, the electric bill.
We had to show, what else did we have to show?
Your passport and also your temporary residency card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
But your passport too, huh?
Yeah, was it our passport too?
Yeah.
did they ask you to supply an RFC?
They did not.
No.
They did not. And I know they didn't because we don't have one.
Yeah.
That would have been a problem.
Sometimes dealerships, from what I've read, will just use like a generic one if you don't have one.
Yeah, I read that too, that, there's a generic code that they use for multiple things.
Okay.
So,
For multiple things.
So how long would you say you were in the dealership when you were buying the car?
it was pretty quick. The process of finding a car seemed like quite a process because there's quite a variety down here. There's lots of cars. We usually bought Fords, and the Ford dealership down here had trucks, had vehicles that we weren't interested in. They had like the Ford Bronco and a couple of these really nice trucks, which I found out, by the way, are quite a bit more expensive down here than they are in the States. My sister-in-law recently bought one, and she got one that's, you know, nicely equipped, and it was significantly less than what they were selling them here on the lot
How long ago did she buy it?
just a few months ago.
Oh, okay, all right.
So market conditions, you know,
Right,
somewhat similar.
right, exactly.
So yeah, it was quite a bit more. So we had to go outside of our little, you know, Ford comfort zone and look at it. And we started, and we're like, oh my gosh, the options are endless. And then we always had cars, but we wanted to get an SUV. So I did all kinds of research on SUVs.
And why did you want to get an SUV?
Well, the topes here, we did scrape bottom a couple times. Topes are speed bumps. Some of them are big speed bumps.
Yeah,
And if your car has a couple passengers in the back, and you go over some of these larger speed bumps, these topes,
Yeah.
you can scrape the bottom of
oh
your
yeah,
car.
we've done it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of the topes, my joke has been that, you know, if you go over too fast, you'll launch yourself into low Earth orbit. You know, but yeah, they are, especially if you have passengers in the back, they will scrape the undercarriage of your car pretty good.
And if anybody is not familiar driving down here with these topes, some of them are marked, some of them you can see coming, they'll indicate that they are coming, or
That's right.
just more clearly visible. Others are not. They're not marked.
Surprise!
They're not visible.
Yeah,
And you're either going to go flying or slam on your brakes, and that's probably happened to about everybody that's been down here, I'm guessing.
yeah. And I don't know what it is about Mexico with so many topes. I mean, honestly, I mean, there's times that we drive where you hit one, I mean, you know, you go over it, and then a couple of feet, there's another one, and a couple of feet, there's another one, and it's like, why so many? I don't get it.
Of varying sizes and shapes back, you know,
Yeah.
back to back to back.
Yeah.
So one of our Mexican friends says, well, they have them because people don't follow the speed limit.
Right.
And apparently they don't want to burden the police by having to ticket everybody for speeding. I don't know, but people don't follow the speed limit. So one of the reasons I wanted it was for the topes. Even though that's not a common problem, you know. The other one is just to sit higher up and see better. So
And so what did you decide on?
we got a Kia Soul, which is a funky looking vehicle.
They are pretty funky, but
I think it looks.
It looks pretty funky, but it checked all the boxes. There was a review, you know, it had some good reviews on it, and then it's got all the technological gadgets. One of which that I really liked is you can put your phone down and it charges it without any cables. You know, just like a wireless charging of the phone.
oh, that's pretty cool.
But it had
Like on the console,
Yeah.
you mean? Oh.
Yeah. And the rear view mirror, the rear view camera, the rear sensors and stuff like that. So, and one of the big things that I liked about that vehicle, which kind of sold me on this one, was in the segment that it's in, it has some of the best headroom in the back seat. So when I have somebody like tall, should be able to sit back there very
Nice.
comfortably.
Yeah. Yeah, and they are. We've seen them here. There's one that's down the street that we saw, and they are pretty tall in back.
And Paula did mention that before. So when we walked down there, we've been looking for it. We did spot that.
Yeah.
that
Did you
one
see
down
it?
there. Yeah, the red with the black
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming in just under 5 weeks now because we actually ordered it before we went up to the States and sold
Okay.
our car. Yeah.
All right. And then did you just do like a wire transfer? To buy it?
Well, we don't pay until it comes in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
They did require a 5,000 peso deposit to, you know, good faith at whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be.
And then as far as the paperwork goes.
That's like what, $250?
$250.
Yeah, US dollars. Mm-hmm.
Paperwork took about, 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
We paid the money, they gave us a receipt. But one thing that made our process a lot easier was we're taking most of the cost of the new car, we're gonna pay with what we received
Sold
sold our
other
old
car.
car
Yeah.
for. So we're not gonna do financing.
Nice.
So if there was
Nice.
financing, that may have been a lot more complicated, you know, it would have been.
Well,
more
you know,
paperwork.
it's tough, I think, as foreigners to do financing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
And
think
even
it's,
if you can get financing here, it's like
it's
double
expensive.
digit.
It's like 12% or
12
something.
13%, something like that.
one interesting, something interesting at the Chevy dealership. We were looking at the Captiva, and we were telling them, yeah, if we do buy it, we're gonna pay cash for it. And they said, well, our agreement with our financing folks is that, are the dogs okay out here?
Yeah. One's being a little dominant right now.
They can only sell one car for cash for every 4 that they finance. And so the salesperson, have you ever heard of anything like
Wow,
that?
no,
We
I
will
have
not sell
not.
you. We will not sell one for cash unless we have at least 4 previous, or 4 of them in a row that were financed. And so this salesperson went on the computer to check to see where they stood in that regard, and found out, oh yes, we did sell 4, so we could sell you this car for cash.
Oh, that's bizarre.
So that
That's
12%, they want that 12%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're not gonna, I guess that's the only, I mean, that's what makes sense to me. They want that finance money, and they're not
Yeah.
gonna just sell it for cash. And because it's such a hot seller's market, they can do what they wanna do, right? I don't know. So if you wanna buy cash, you go to that dealer to buy cash. We'll get somebody in here and get our 12% interest, cause somebody else is gonna come in after you. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyhow, from the 2 travelers in Mexico, as always,
What they did.
bye guys.
Bye.